Hello and welcome to Strategic Business Mentoring. Strategic Business Mentoring is available as a standalone product package, or it is included within the ESS BIZTOOLS Gold and Silver packages. We envisage that the Strategic Business Mentoring approach to dealing with a client's business situation would follow your firm's involvement as the chief financial officer for that firm. Or at least that's our preference. So what we're going to talk to you today about is how you might go about performing the executive director role for a client. I have to show you, as part of this webinar, a sample of the material which we have utilized in this product package. This product package is designed to assist accountants who might not have had experience with larger corporations or public companies. I was in a chief financial officer, public company secretary role of a listed public company, and I have tried to highlight in these presentations some of the knowledge that I acquired through undertaking that role. A few years ago, we also undertook a detailed review of advertisements in the Financial Review over a 6-month period for chief financial officers, chief accountants. And we determined what the market was looking for at a public company, large private company area for those types of positions. And then we reviewed that and identified what we thought also applied to small, medium enterprises, especially companies which were intent on growing. So with that bit of background, I'm happy now to guide you through the material which is presented to assist the partner or senior manager of a firm who is going to undertake a strategic business mentoring role to decide how you are going to implement this service for your clients. I think it's very important that you're able to clearly indicate to your client that you're going to be a very keen observer, but also participant in assisting the client's management team to implement the business strategies, the objectives, what's been decided on, what do they want to achieve in a 5-year period, what's going to happen in the succession planning area. Is there a need for corporate governance review? Does the company want to raise capital? If so, when, how much, and how are they going to go about it? And other issues that are summarized in some of this material. There will be various business development projects that you might be able to suggest or to participate in. Or there could be some very important matters that require some detailed evaluation, such as how is this business complying with the Personal Property Securities Register? What has the business done about overall corporate risk as it applies to this business? Is the business committed to implementing decisions made in the business planning process? So I envisage that your role as an executive director for a client who is committed to growing, to becoming bigger, perhaps even planning to do an initial public offer at some time in the future. I envisage that your role is more in undertaking due diligence assignments, to be checking on various aspects of the business to see how it performs, Bluntly, how does the business measure up? And one of the key aspects of measuring up is, how does it compare to a listed public company? In the analysis that we undertook of advertisements for chief financial officer, chief accountant's positions, we were very mindful of trying to identify detailed job descriptions for chief financial officers and then applying those chief financial officers' criteria to growing, fast growing in some instances, private companies based on what was required within a public company. Hopefully these notes will assist you to be conscious of this and understanding what's required to help a business that's going to grow. I know not all of your clients that want to grow have got any aspirations at all to be an IPO. But with the opportunity now to raise capital through crowdsourced funding, I suspect that thousands of companies around Australia are going to undertake this task over the next few years. And we have written this material to try to assist you to be a participant, a very important participant in this process. When we envisage what you're going to do as the executive director, we've also included the company secretarial role, because for a company that is growing, this is a very important position. So we've prepared some notes on what we think the role of that position is. And it's also obviously based on my experience as being the company secretary for a listed public company. And we hope that these notes will assist you in planning how you're going to undertake an executive director type role for your client. We debated what to call the next form. We've called it mentoring the CEO. In some instances, you might have to be very careful how you use that terminology with some CEOs. But obviously, we're looking at a very broad group of CEOs. And if you're dealing with a young company that's currently got $2.5, $3, $4, $5 million turnover that is wanting to grow, in a lot of cases, you will be dealing with a fairly inexperienced CEO when it comes to a bigger picture, when it comes to dealing with external directors that the company might wish to invite to be on their board, or in fact, they have to invite to be on their board if they want to go down the capital raising path of crowdsourced funding, or even early stage innovation companies if they're a bit younger and they've developed new technologies. But we see that this is a very important part of the trusted advisor concept of accountants, a very important part, because this is where the company has already got through the startup phase. They have developed systems on how to run the business. The real challenge now is, can they turn a $2 to $3 million turnover company into a $20 to $30 million turnover company over the next 5 years? And to do that, they are going to need assistance from people like you, and also some others, of course, marketing, sales, technology. People will also be the key advisors. Remember that in a public company, a listed public company, the CEO has somewhere between 10 and 15 direct reports in most companies, people who are experts in accounting, finance, the operations that this particular business is involved in, sales, legal matters. Most small, medium enterprise company CEOs do not have direct access to full-time team members who are experts in those types of areas. As they grow, they are going to have linkages to more and more people who are on a part-time basis who can assist them in the growing pains that the company will have. The next item I want to show you is business evaluation for SMEs. This was a specific paper we wrote a few years ago, which is currently being updated, to look at a wide range of business issues. It was written when there was a downturn in the Australian economy, but I've decided to leave that theme in this particular paper because at any time around Australia, in various areas, in various industries, there's always some segment of the economy that's got real problems. But on a broader sense, you could utilize this article and the associated spreadsheets that we're going to go to in a moment to undertake an evaluation of your client's business from your executive director role. I see that role as also being very similar to performing an internal auditor role for your client. It's all very well for businesses to say they have systems, but are they working appropriately? Is the CEO and the key management team receiving correct information? Or is there some additional information they could also get? Are they getting the full picture? Because as companies grow and take on bigger competitors and probably start entering into overseas markets, they really need to have current information. They need business intelligence that they can utilize in their day-to-day business operations. So we'll take you through into this article. There will be a summary of the challenges for 2018, replacing what we have there at present. And then there's commentary on a range of issues. Is this client of yours undertaking benchmarking? Where are they on a scale of 1 to 10 on their steps for being a sound business? That particular section might help you on that analysis. Do they undertake cost reviews? And what are they doing about trying to reduce costs? The team members, wastage and shrinkage. Is this an issue within this business? Is someone looking at it? Are senior management receiving reports also on theft, pilferage and fraud? Cash flow and budget forecasts. Cash flow management. Customers. It's always a good idea to have an outside person, and that's what you will be considered to be, to cast your eye over what is happening within a business. I'm now going to go to the survival in difficult times for SMEs. That's what we call this presentation when we produced it a couple of years ago. We have updated it. But as I said a little bit earlier, we are continuing with the theme that there's always problems in either an area of Australia or business types in Australia, various locations. But it's also, I think, a good review format for you to undertake a review. And it is linked back to that article that I just referred to. So here's the paper. You can go back and read the more detailed commentary on banks and lenders. And then you can go back to where we were in the spreadsheet. You can undertake this spreadsheet review with the CEO and key management people of your client. In fact, I think that is the preferred way to undertake this. You could make this available to your client to prepare, but I think as a executive director type person, you will get far more out of this and will be able to contribute far more by you sitting with your client and working your way through it. So ask them to allocate a day to have a real review of their business. There's 40 odd sections in this. So we've just gone to benchmarking now, then business expansion. And at any time, they can click back to the article. We've now gone back to buying a business in the article. And when they're finished, we can come back to where we were. So you can work your way through the material. Cash flow calculation. So there's a short-term cash flow calculator included. There's cost reviews to analyze what's happening in costs and who's responsible for them. There's customer reviews. There's a debtors review, including a calculation of debtors days outstanding. So you just click on that. And there's a format which will assist you while you're there to ask the client the approximate annual credit sales, divided by 365 to get the daily sale, divide the debtors balance by that figure, and you immediately have targeted debtors days outstanding. How do they compare to what they've currently got? That's just a chart there to give you a indicator that you can refer to a client that if the average payment terms is 60 days and they've got 2.2 million in credit sales, they're going to have 361 grand owing to them. But if they could reduce that payment back to 30 days, and obviously they're going to halve it. It's only $180,000. So that business has got $180,000 extra in their cash flow forecast. We can then go to exporters, financial accounts review, fixed assets, franchising, questions you might look at if you're proposing to be a franchisor, gross profit analysis. We've got provision for up to 40 departments. We were thinking of a supermarket when we designed this, 30 departments, sorry, whereby you can look at the individual departments, importers review, leadership, and so on. So that's those spreadsheets, which we've called survival in difficult times. That we believe will assist you to assist in performing your executive director role as part of this overall strategic business mentoring approach. If you have any questions on any aspect, or you would like to have a discussion with me on mentoring services under the strategic business mentoring category, or in fact any other of our products, you can book mentoring sessions. Please contact us. We'll be happy to talk to you. Have a great day. Goodbye.